The first lady is gross. She's the villain in all of this, as far as I'm concerned. She's out there right now. This just came across my phone. Here she is in, North Carolina? Yeah, she's in North Carolina, saying she's all in on his reelection campaign. She plans to make 3 stops in 3 separate states. Joe's made it clear he's all in, and that's the decision he's made. Just as he's always supported me, I'm all in too. Sure, it's just because he decided. So you're all in. All of us know if our spouse were in this condition, we would hug them right into retirement. We'd be sitting on the couch next to them watching Matlock. I think this president's in the condition where you can just keep repeating the same episode over and over and over. How dare she pretend this is a normal campaign and it was just a bad night? That's her messaging he's repeating, not the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating to watch this happen. Watching the media react to this, I think it was Derek Thompson over at The Atlantic, who I like. I think he does a lot of good stuff. And he was kind of like frustrated about how, well, people are saying this wasn't covered. Of course, Biden's age was covered. And it was by some. I mean, we've mentioned a few of them that, Olivia did some of this. Nate Silver is not really a reporter, but he talked about this. David Axelrod, right, was on television mentioning these sorts of concerns. There were some, but not nearly what was required for this moment. And as you go through that story, I mean, I remember where I was standing in my house when I was on the phone with my grandma, and for the first time, she didn't know who I was. It's like one of the worst moments of my life. I loved her to death. And every time I think about it, it's terrible. Like, I remember that moment where she just couldn't track who I was anymore. I would remind her, and multiple times in the conversation, she would lose it and ask me again. It was a terrible, terrible thing. And the family's response to that was not to say, hey, what else can we get out of her before she's gone? That was not ever part of the consideration. It was, how do we make her comfortable? How do we make her last days the best that they can be? How do we spend time with her and enjoy her while she's still here, when she's still a little bit with us? It's the exact opposite calculation with these people, and it's revolting.
And the notion, as reported in Politico this morning, that they think he's got till Friday to really dazzle them, these Democrats, like prove that he can be the nominee. What a joke. What is that? All these stories that she's writing about match up with what we've seen with our very eyes. The waxy complexion, the seeming like you're not there, the getting lost all the time, the believing dead people are alive and alive people are dead. All of that, not knowing who people are, right? Like getting confused constantly about identity, names, dead or alive, all of it. There was just new reporting over the weekend, because now the knives are out for him, about Jackie. Remember the "Where's Jackie" moment? When he thought Jackie Spires was alive. She was a Republican who had just died in a car crash shortly before this bipartisan event that he was celebrating. And she was part of the Republican coalition that joined with Dems to make this thing happen. He had gotten up, and at that event, he said, "Where's Jackie? She was supposed to be here." Do we have it? Yeah, we have it. Here it is. Look, SOT 17.
And I want to thank all of you here, for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
Yeah. So, just so the audience knows, they had run an in memoriam video about Jackie right before he stood up. His team helped put it together. He knew she was dead. She had recently passed. And now it comes out that his team had put in prompter for him that she had died and to pay respects. So he couldn't even comprehend either what he had just read or what he'd skipped over. I'm not sure what his failing was there, but he couldn't hold on to the fact that she had died. So all of what's in the Nuzzi report matches up perfectly with what we've seen ourselves, and it is ongoing. Just this weekend, he got out there and told this long, rambling story. I'm not even going to take a shot at trying to explain to you what this is about. I'm just going to play it, and you tell me when it's done what this story was about. SOT 16.
But I tell you what, after I went to a local parade, in a little place called Hockessin, Delaware, right on the Pennsylvania border after our son had passed, and I was sitting there at home thinking it was his favorite parade, so I decided just to go into it. And I was walking along in this small community, and 4 guys about your size came running up to me. I thought the Secret Service was going to kill them. And when they came running up, swear to God, true story, said, "Joe, what's all this damn stuff about Pennsylvania? You're from Delaware. You're from Delaware." Yeah, but it never leaves you.
Huh? And you can see at the end there, Dave, Jill Biden, she's behind him. And when she realizes what he's doing, she starts moving right up. And we saw that again this week. Like, that was this weekend, but we've seen that repeatedly now. She's his handler. She's the one who's going to take the helm of stopping us from seeing his decline.
Yeah, I wrote in my column immediately after the debate. I wrote these words within 5 minutes of it ending. I said, the question going into the debate was whether Joe Biden was fit to be president for 4 more years. The question after the debate was whether he was fit to be president for 4 more days. That's where we are now. Think about the fact that we're deciding whether this guy should be president 3 years from now.
Oh my gosh.
This is not, I almost think of it this way, right? 3 years when you're in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s, things change, right? It's not that big a difference. Big difference between being 14 and 17, right? Big difference between being 12 and 15. Big difference most of the time between being 84 and 87. The fact that we're even contemplating this guy being in charge of the country, the most powerful man in the world, for 4 more years? They're literally chanting 4 more years. It's abjectly insane. Nobody can look. Don't even look at Joe Biden from 2020. Don't make that comparison. Make the comparison to 2022. In the last 2 years, he has changed completely. Like this is madness.
Yeah. Just this past weekend on your diagram, Stu, of funny and sad. Now they're all sad. This one is sad, but it's like kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. When someone showed it to me, I was like, "What?" This is Biden claiming he was the first Black woman to serve with a Black president. Sorry, but it was given on a radio interview with WURD in Philly over the weekend. It's SOT 11.
It's the guy, as I said, questioned George Floyd's humanity, led the birther movement against President Obama, accused the Central Park Five. They should be in jail. By the way, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first Black woman to serve with a Black president. I'm proud of the first Black woman in the Supreme Court. There's just so much that we can do because together there's nothing. Look, this is the United States of America.
Okay.
And he had the questions.
Yeah. So he had the question. Well, let's get to that next. But the fact that he can't even he's not Black and he's not a woman and he was not either of those things ever. And the White House is mad that people are nitpicking his words in reaction to that clip. Do you ever think, how can I work this hard and still be in debt? The piles of overdue bills, the threatening phone calls, never having money to do anything, it just won't stop. If you are trapped in debt, Done with Debt can be a way out. They have developed aggressive new strategies to end your debt permanently. Done with Debt stands between you and the harassing bill collectors. They tirelessly negotiate with your creditors to lower or even forgive what you owe. And they do it all without bankruptcy or new loans. One client said, "One phone call saved us a fortune. I wish we did this long ago." Done with Debt has unique strategies to get you out of debt faster and put more money in your pocket every month. But you need to hurry because some debt solutions are time sensitive and you don't want to miss out. Visit donewithdebt.com. Talk with one of their debt relief strategists for free. You've got nothing to lose except your debt. Go to donewithdebt.com. That's donewithdebt.com. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.